Howdy everybody, Poppin here, with the Week 6 battle kind of delayed of the LCD. What's going on here, man? I guess it's usually at that angle. So yeah, I played a game yesterday, but it was during work and I had a massive headache, so I didn't bother recording. But I want to do my due diligence and try to get all of these recorded, so I can see what plays I made, see how good and or bad I played in a given week, see what I could have done differently. So I'm just going to go through the replay, take a look at my team, talk about my thoughts, and we'll just get into it. So this is my team. You can tell this was the third revision of it, the copy of LCD Week 6. So we start off, we have a new member of the squad, Landorus. I dumped Rotom because Rotom's really not that... It didn't really end up being that good. I didn't use it as much as I could have, but I just like what Landorus does more. And obviously, lots of experience using it. It's been the king of OU for since Generation 5. So, I pretty much know what it does. So, we have Landorus. This time we have it with Galvanize, which is neat because the team I'm playing has a giant electric weakness, and the things that... well, it has a big ground weakness, right? And the things that resist ground for this team were weak to electric, so that's a pretty decent pairing. We have it here with enough speed and a choice scarf to outspeed a Mega Sceptile, which is the fastest thing on their team. Can get either OHKOs or near OHKOs on most of the team members with the right move, spamming Earthquake and an electric type Frustration typically. Frustration over return, because this thing... Does this thing look like it'd be pissed off or if it'd be happy? It's one pissed off tiger, so that is Frustration purely for the themes, and I guess if you want to be optimal, most mods come with full happiness instead of none happiness, so if they bring Transform, I got them there. We have a Desolate Land Moltres Classic, lots of EVs dumped into the defenses, enough speed to outspeed something. I think it's no speed Jirachi and hit it with a Weather Ball. Very good defensive mon, great against Tapu Fini, we saw last season. Morning Sun, Weather Ball, Toxic, and Fire Spin. This was a neat little combo. If I had to trap in Tapu Fini, if it wasn't Poison Heal, I could trap it in and Toxic it away. And in the meantime, resist all of its hits, because Water and Fairy doesn't do anything to Moltres if you can't hit it with a water move. We have Mega Steelix finally shown up for the first time, but didn't end up Mega-ing it, because I think Mega Steelix is only good in that it gives you more points to spend on other mons, and Steelix by itself is a decent regenerator pivot. I have full investment in Spadef because I don't need to invest anything in defense because it's already like over 400. So Body Press Earthquake, again, does good damage against most of the targets on the opponent's team. Body Press, I mean, you can't skimp on Body Press, and especially it comes in particularly useful because Steelix is really only serving the role of the slacking check. Well, yeah, check, not so much a counter. Moltres is EV'd here to live a return from slacking. That's what it was. Or maybe a facade, I don't remember. But with no boosts. So this is here to come in on slacking, take a hit, watch slacking switch out myself, and get a bunch of my health back. Body Press to just chip things, Earthquake to hit what's weak to Earthquake, Stealth Rock and Roar in case of any setup shenanigans, which did come into play. We have Golisopod here with Tinted Lens. There's nothing on this team that quad resists bug, so with Tinted Lens, everything is neutral or weak to bug, and nothing is neutral to a expanded Golisopod. Everything is weak to it. So, point here is to spam Leech Life, or maybe Spikes on a predicted switch, and knock off items. A offensive Sheer Force Dragapult with Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Will-O-Wisp, and Draco. This is mainly to just clean up things in the end game. Draco Meteor nearly OHKOs a slacking, so I can Will-O-Wisp it if I want to, and then shoot off a Draco Meteor. Thunderbolt hits a lot of electric weaknesses, and Shadow Ball just does good neutral damage. And then we have the endgame condition of all endgame conditions. We have Speed Boost Tapu Lele with Protect, Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, and Stored Power. This is to mimic Stored Power Magirna from OU a couple years ago. Just get in, get a speed boost. After one speed boost, I'm faster than everything. And then alternate between Protect and Calm Mind until I have enough boosts to kill anything with Stored Power or kill Mandibuzz with Draining Kiss. So that was the team. Let's see how it went. So we have, I'll switch sides. So we have the squad here. Pretty much everything that I expected. I mean, Steering's team has a lot of really good mons, and he brought them, which is what I would do. So Feeney, Slacking, obviously the humongous threats. Tornadus, a big annoyance and cleaner. Jirachi's a humongous. Jirachi and Manabuzz are amazing pivots. I think Manabuzz is honestly one of the best Pokemon in this format. Defog, immune to Prankster, can very easily be Magic Guard and never die. Roost, Foul Play, it has all it needs to be incredibly annoying. And Mega Sceptile is just so fast you can't ignore it. Like, it's 1 point faster than Dragapult, which is really frustrating. So I didn't really put much speed at all into Dragapult, just enough to outspeed the next fastest thing, I think, which is probably Tornadus. So based on this, I looked at my lead opportunities, and I think Golisopod is the best lead here. It's a really nice neutral lead. There's nothing that can kill Golisopod in one hit at all. And definitely not Manabuzz. So in this situation, I can either go for a Spike, go for a knockoff, but seeing as nothing else on this team really can take 2 Leech Lives, I just threw that out right off the bat because Leech Life is a great move. And if it hits me with Foul Play, that's really all that this Manabuzz can do here. Foul Play or Toxic me. And given how much I'll be switching this thing and getting health back with Leech Life, I don't think the Toxic would really have enough time to stack up. So based on that, we see it does go for the Foul Play, 41, pretty decent. And then I go for a Leech Life, do 38, and heal back up. So really only taking 18% here, dealing 38. It's a good exchange for me. So I have no reason not to go for another Leech Life. And thankfully, Manabuzz goes for Roost and is faster than me. So that's going to let me hit a super effective Leech Life and put it in a worse spot than it was before, and now I'm back to full. So given this is pretty clearly going to be a switch. So the play I make here is actually pretty stupid. I switch into Moltres expecting Feeney to come in, but I totally forget that this thing has U-turn, so it can come in afterwards. And in this case, Feeney happens to have Primordial Sea, which is suboptimal to say the least. So if I had just gone for Leech Life there, I could have done a lot of damage to Feeney on the switch. So that was a misplay for sure. Now I have to end up switching in Golisopod again and taking 50% from a Nature's Madness. But thankfully at this point, even in the rain, Golisopod does have enough bulk and Feeney doesn't have that much special attack, where even if it hits me with, I don't know the strongest water type move, probably like a Hydro. If it hits me with a Hydro, I don't take 50%. So throws out another Nature's Madness, and let's see, we get that nice Leech Life, 60% damage on a resisted hit. Tinted Lens is busted. So being able to heal back up to more than I had before and deal 60% to a Tapu Fini, it's a pretty good exchange in my book. So from this interaction, can you predict what I'm going to do next? That's right. I am going to click Leech Life. But even with a Protect to stall it out, that's fine. What am I going to do? I'm going to click Leech Life again and do 60%. But Fini goes out because that's not a winning interaction. And here I go for a Leech Life, deal 57%, which is huge. And here I have no reason not to go for a Leech Life, so I go for another Leech Life, and I get a kill on Manabuzz, which is a huge relief because Manabuzz is, like I said earlier, an incredible pivot, super hard to break through, and just a pain in the ass. So here comes Slacking, the big threat itself, the mon that will absolutely be banned next season because what on earth is this thing doing illegal? If Regigigas is banned, this thing should be banned. So I see this coming in, and I figured this might be some kind of banded. He ran that move Retaliate earlier in the season, and I'm sure a banded Retaliate can probably OHKO me. So, and I don't know if this is Galvanize or something like that, or Aerialate. So I go ahead and I do switch out here to Steelix, because I know Steelix can pretty much tank anything this thing does. And it goes for an Amnesia, which is wacky, because I had never even considered that. And none of my calcs are able to kill Slacking when it has 2x special defense. So this is the problem. So we see it go up for another boost here, and yeah, look at me. Oh, what the fuck is that? So it starts boosting up, because if this thing gets out of control, this is pretty clearly a game over for me. Between a normal move and a dark move, everything on my team dies. So I need to get this thing out of here quickly. And thankfully, I packed Roar on Steelix. So that gets it out of there. We have Sceptile come in. Intrepid Sword Sceptile. Very interesting play. I wouldn't have expected that. And here we go. Sceptile goes for Rock Slide and kills Moltres in one hit. I should have looked up if Sceptile learned Rock Slide. I didn't think it did, so I switched in Moltres and I paid the price. But looking at the calcs, I found out that no matter what, even if this thing Mega Evolves and uses Rock Slide, guess what? It doesn't kill Golisopod. So what can I do? I can go for a free leech life. And there we go. Hit the Feeny, take all that health back, and we have the 2 best defensive pivots in this metagame down. So that's a great start. So Tornadus comes in here, who I am pretty scared of. A Hurricane can OHKO me, and it can do all sorts of other nasty things. So I switch in Landorus, and it goes for the Heat Wave, actually, I think, predicting the Steelix switch, and it misses, which is unfortunate. But I never got to see what ability this thing had. I would bet it's probably Sheer Force with a Life Orb. So Sheer Force Life Orb does not end up killing Landorus, and it can't get a burn because of Sheer Force, so that didn't end up mattering in the end. And I predict the switch here, go for a knockoff, because it's always good to just get that chip and knock off an item. Assault Vest is gone. Jirachi is now in that useless territory, so he sacks it to another knockoff. Fine by me. And then I believe, Sceptile comes back in. We get that 1.5 attack. I think here comes the Mega Evolution, right? Steelix comes in to tank that. It does not Mega. Rock Slide doesn't do much. Hitting Steelix with rock moves is not the play. But we go for a Drain Punch here. It does 35%, which is honestly pretty good against Steelix, but it's not going to be enough. So I'm able to set up the rocks. I switch in Lele because I figure this is probably my time to do that. Lele will be faster after a speed boost. Rock Slide doesn't hit, but it wouldn't KO me anyways, so it doesn't end up making too big of an impact. And here's something I didn't know. Speed boost doesn't activate the turn you switch in, which hadn't planned for that. So if I hadn't brought Protect on this thing, I would have been in the world of hurt. But I go for the Protect, and it throws off another Rock Slide. Obviously doesn't hit. And now I'm at +1, and so that has to scare out this the Sceptile. But it actually... Wait, does it? Okay, it does. I didn't scare it out, so... I'm able to send in Steelix again, just tank another hit, tank another Drain Punch, and at this point, Steelix doesn't really have much left to do because I know I'll be able to get to a point where I can hopefully take out Slacking. But wait, so actually never mind, scratch that. This is a pretty important play. I still can't sack Steelix because I still needed to take out Slacking. I cannot tank a Slacking super effective hit if I'm at, what was I at? I was at 91, and then... Okay, so I can't tank super effective hits from Slacking at 54%, so I have to switch back out, because if Slacking does come in here, it can still roll through my whole team. So, I switch out to Golisopod, which I had calced earlier in the match. It, even with a max special attack Leaf Storm, I still live it because of my bug type, and that's what it goes for here. It does 68%, and guess what I do? I go for the first impression. I had kept that concealed the entire game for a situation like this, where I needed to go first, and I needed to go first, so I get to go ahead, smack the Sceptile, take it out. And here is another important play. Tornadus comes in to get the revenge kill, and I absolutely cannot let Slacking get in here for free. If I switch in something that's not Steelix and Slacking comes in, I end up on the back foot, where that thing can just start tearing through my team. Oops, the music stopped. Hold up, one sec. Okay, we're good. So, I can't let Slacking get back in, and I don't have any more use for Golisopod, so I just need to sack it. So go for first impression, and then we have a Hurricane miss. Alright, go for first impression again, and a Hurricane miss. So we go for first impression again, and we get a Hurricane hit, so... Golisopod goes down, and now I know it's my time to set up my endgame condition. So I get in Lele, Protect, and now I'll be able to outspeed. And I know once I get a Spadef boost from Calm Mind, I can live a Hurricane, but it misses again. So, man, the pain of not having moves that are 100% accurate. I've been scarred so many times by that. Does hit the Hurricane there, but by now it's too late. This is kind of BM. I just wanted to get super boosted so I can make sure I killed Slacking in one hit. Stored Power KOs Tornadus, and then the boy himself comes in and goes down to a single Stored Power, which at that point is what? That's +5 +2, +5 +2 +2. That's 9, so that's what? 200 base power, so that'll take out most mons that aren't Dark type. So that was the game. Really well played by Steering. Super hard to pivot around. Super hard for him to pivot around Golisopod. He did a very, very good job. I think given his team, the only way he could have got past Golisopod is if he had brought Avalugg. But he didn't, and that's the game we play. Can't prep for everything. So yeah, that was the game. That was kind of my post thoughts on it. This video ended up being longer than I thought it would be, so sorry about that. Not as exciting and with fun reactions as a live battle, but it's going in the record books. So that was the game. I will see you in the next week. Peace.